Everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It is me, your girl, Goddess of Love and Truth Reacts, coming to you with another reaction video upload. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber or viewer, welcome back. All of you guys are greatly and truly appreciated. If you have not subscribed to the channel as of yet, be sure to go ahead, click that subscribe button, click that bell notification for all so that you never miss an upload, as well as like the video. By doing both of these, you help me and my channel get in and remain in the YouTube algorithm. So I am truly, truly, truly grateful and appreciative for all you guys' support. And to show you that I do appreciate your support, I am doing a subscriber give back. This is going to be the first of many. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, I am doing a $100 subscriber give back. Two of my lucky subscribers will receive $50 each via Cash App only. So in order to qualify, you must be subscribed to the channel. You must have your bell notification on for all. And you must have Cash App. And like the video, y'all. Like, please, please. All right, you guys. Let's get into the video. All right, next on Beyond the Gates. All right, so we're still on season 1. Well, again, I'm gonna stop saying season because I don't think soap operas have seasons. So we are on episode 22 of Beyond the Gates. And we start off with Nicole and her sister Danny. Remember when we ended yesterday, or when they ended yesterday, Nicole came in and she saw Danny holding that picture of her back in the day when she was 17. I didn't even notice that the picture was cracked, but the picture is cracked because Nicole mentioned it. But remember she came in and Danny was looking at the picture and she was drinking her vodka or her liquor, but I believe it's vodka. But anyway, so we started off there, and Nicole was telling her that, she's still beautiful. She has her whole life ahead of her. And that's when she had mentioned that it was cracked, and Danny was like, I didn't crack it, so she was thinking, Nicole think Danny cracked it. She said, well, why were you staring there at it crying? And so she was telling her that it's just, it just makes her think of her old self. And she don't have what she used to have anymore. And then, also thinking about her divorce with Bill Hamilton. So Nicole tells her that, she's gonna have to get over Bill. And she said, she's addicted, and Danny said, well, I am, so she admitted that she's addicted. So she was like, he was my first, he's my last, he's my everything, he's my forever. So she's not wanting to give up. And then Nicole was like, he cheated on you. Like, think about the stuff. She started reminding her of all of the stuff that he did to her and him and Haley, but him more importantly, all of the things. And she was like, after all of this, you would still take him back? And she was like, in a heartbeat, like, child. And so first Nicole was telling her that she need to get out and she need to date and she need to find other people. And she was like, I take care of my needs. So she basically saying she got a little boy toy. And she was like, no, I'm not talking about like that. I'm saying, get out, mingle, find you another man. And, but she don't want to. She's like, she's stuck on him. So she truly is addicted, which that's crazy. But it is like that. You know what I'm saying? Some people are like that. Some people not even in love with the people that they with. Some people are just addicted to being with that person. You know what I'm saying? If it's like all and it may sound weird, but I've seen it and it's happened. It does happen. Like, you can truly, 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 truly be addictive to a person, just like how people get addicted to cigarettes or they get addicted to drinking or whatever. You can get addicted to people. You have we can't say the word, the S word, the N with an X, the 3-letter word. You can get addicted to that as well. It's so many things that, you can get addicted to. So at least she's admitting it. So her sister's trying to help her. They did a little role play. She was like, okay, let's role play. Let's act like, cause she was like, I don't even know how to get out there and date anymore. She was like, let's role play. So she was like, I'm gonna be the guy and you're gonna be yourself. So she act like she was handing her sister a drink. And then the way she was holding the glass, Danny was like, well, I'm gonna have a martini. So she changed her hand a different way so she could act like she was holding a martini glass versus a liquor glass or whatever. So she was like, "Hi," she said, she was like, "This is Nicole. You're Danny Dupree, right?" And she was like, "Yes." And then that would be me. And then she was like, Nicole, like, "What are you having to drink?" She was acting like a dude, talking like that too. That was too funny. She was like, "What are you having to drink?" She said, she said, "What are you drinking?" And she said, vodka and sadness, and walked off. Oh, wait, before she did that, she said vodka and sadness, and then act like she tossed the drink in the man's face and walked off. Girl, I hollered. Danny played too much. Danny, I'm gonna need you to take y'all role play seriously. Dennis, I wish y'all had a brother. That was too funny, but she was joking or whatever. So she was like, well, if not date, she was like, take the time out and date yourself. Danny was like, what do you mean? How do you even do that? Now that is true. Then that's the best thing that you could have tell somebody. You don't want to just jump out there and start dating. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've did it before in my past younger days, and I was wrong. I shouldn't have. I wish I knew better. What I know now, I wish I knew then, because it's not good when you in a relationship with somebody and you've been with them for so many years and so long, and that's all you know. It's not, even if it's not so long or whatever, it's not a good thing to just jump from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship. You need to really, really take time out to get to know yourself. And especially her, she never really got to know herself. She started modeling when she was 17, and she said 2 years later, that's when she met Bill, and she been with him ever since. When did you have an opportunity to get to know yourself? You were still a child. You know what I'm saying? That she was just 19 then. That's two years later. It's, you have to, and nothing against it, not judging, because we all been there. We all been young and think we know stuff and doing our thing or whatever. But as you get older in life and you mature, you learn different things and you look back on it. I'm not saying you need to regret anything, because everything that you did in your past make you to who you are today. And it can either make you or it can break you. Hopefully it's making you and making you a stronger person. Some people it does, some people it doesn't. But it is best to, and this is for men or women, the same thing. It is best to be with yourself for a while. You know what I'm saying? Get to know yourself. It's okay to date yourself. Now, I used to be like, I wasn't going out in public and stuff and sitting at a restaurant and nothing like that by myself, because I felt like that was embarrassing. But that's how the world make you feel like it was. Baby, please, child, please. I be all out the country and everything by myself. I don't even be wanting people to go with me, because they be getting on my damn nerve, because they be people, some people be just be acting stupid. But it is best to get to know yourself, get to know what you like, get to know what you respond to. You know what I'm saying? That way you can learn to set boundaries. You can love yourself. You have to love yourself before you can love somebody else, or even if you, or even, allow somebody to love you. Because if you don't even love yourself, you're not going to love the next person right, or you're going to let somebody come in and run all over you. So you have to get to know yourself. And when I say, how she's saying date yourself, some people, they'll be like, oh, well, I've been single for a week or whatever. That ain't long enough. You need to take some years. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it may take some years, and people feel like they can't go without. You can go without. Sometimes it's good. You need to go without. You need to be with yourself, get to know yourself, get, do your meditations. Most importantly, get your relationship with God. That's what I should have said first and foremost. Get your relationship with God. And as you getting your relationship with God, you're getting to know yourself. Because if you're just focusing on yourself and you're focusing on God, hey, that's the best thing for you. And then once you're ready to go back out there, and maybe you may not be ready, but whenever you're ready to go back out there, you will know what you want. You'll know how you should be treated, and you won't take nothing from anybody, like no craziness. And it's not even just in relationship far as your significant other. It's with the whole world. It's with jobs. It's with everything. When you take that time out for yourself and get to really know yourself, you know everything. Like you get to learn everything you want to do in life, everything. It doesn't have to necessarily be for as a relationship with a significant other. It can be relationships with family, it can be relationships with people you work with, just your everyday thing. You have to, it is very, 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 very important to get to know yourself. So basically that's all they talked about. That, you know, the whole episode, it was going back and forth from them to other people, so I just discussed all of them at once, and then we're not gonna go back to them. So then we go here with Miss Naomi and this skeezer here. Child, they was going at it. They was at the table and they was talking. Let me see if I have a picture where I can show both of them together. All right, so let's go to this picture and do it. So they was talking, and Haley is still trying to get Naomi to drop this lawsuit, and Haley talking to Naomi all recklessly, and she's saying, you're just doing this because you know you mad at your dad or whatever. And she act like Naomi went to these women to find these women. These women came and found her, but Naomi didn't give her all the information because that's attorney-client privileges or whatever. But she was like, I know you. And she was like, you can't stand up to your dad and this and this and that there. And she was like, this is more than the law firm. She said, this is a frivolous lawsuit and you need to break that. She was like, there is nothing like that going on in the office. I'm there. And she was like, how would you know? She said, you slept your way at the top. And she said, matter of fact, the job that you got, one of my clients, that was supposed to have been their job like that. And then she was like, I deserve my job. I earned my job. She said, by laying on your back, baby. Huh? She was going in. So they were just throwing, you know, little stuff back and forth to each other. She was calling her a homewrecker. She was telling her she's bitter, you know, back and forth. I know you, you don't know me, da 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 da, all of that or whatever. And so basically, she was telling her to drop the lawsuit or whatever. And then she was like, okay, you want this? She said, then I tried and I came to you and I tried to talk to you like a woman. She said, but I'm sticking with Bill. And she said, and Bill and us and this law firm, we're going to take you and your little tiny little law firm. She didn't call it tiny. She called it something. She insulted her law firm. She said that we're going to throw y'all in the sewer where y'all belong or something like that. She said, baby, she was like, they bottom of her little tiny law firm is bottom of the scum bucket or something. Those wasn't her exact words, y'all, but she said something to that nature. Y'all get my drift. And so Naomi said, bring it. That's when y'all saw the last picture, she hit the table. She said, bring it, like bring it on. And then she got up and she walked off and she left. So then let's go to Eva and her psychedelic mama, Alyssa. Child, I'm so confused with this woman because she be having so many names, so many different names. And it's going to make sense when I get to another part of this story. But they sitting up there talking, and she told her mom, you know, she was like, well, do you think that we should do it that way, like, you know, putting him on blast in front of everybody? Don't you think that would make him like run away from our end plan? And her mom was like, no, it needs to be public. She was like, why can't we just tell him in private that he's my dad? And then she was like, no, it needs to be in public so we can take him for this and take him for that. But Eva don't feel like he gonna pay no money or whatever if she do it. She was like, but her mom is just about embarrassing him and putting him on Front Street and telling Nicole, but they can still do that in private. She just want to put it where the world see it, where everybody see it. She just want to make a scene, but that's still not gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, even that's really making you look like a bitter person. You just a bitter baby mama. You know what I'm saying? If that really is his child, you know what I'm saying? Because it was, I think, a one night stand, I'm not sure, or whatever. And she said that she wished she would have never took that money and had him to whisk her away. So I guess she did tell Eva, because she started talking about it now, for as she should have told Nicole back then. She said he left me to be with his wife or whatever, whatever. So next thing you know, Eva gets a message on her phone. So before we go to Eva getting her message on her phone, let's go here. So Kat is at home in her mom's office, right? Cat done went and got a hidden camera, y'all. And she put the camera like right behind Nicole desk where you can see her laptop, you can see her screen, see everything on it. You could see the office and you could see like outside of the office into towards the living room a little bit. So she's, getting ready to set Eva up. So she put the camera up. So mind y'all, when I said that Eva got a text or a message on her phone, girl, Cat done sat here at her mama desk after she set up that camera, sent Eva an email from her mama's computer and saying, can you go by the house and make sure I logged out of my work computer? Like, that's crazy. Like, are you serious? Like, cat is doing too much. So Eva was having a conversation. She told her mom, she was like, I gotta go. She's like, this Nicole, she want me to come by the house and make sure that she logged out of her work computer. And then she's like, see, look how she's treating you. She wants you to come after hours to come over there just to make sure she logged out of her computer or whatever, which is crazy because she's at home. You know what I'm saying? It's only her and her husband that live there, and then their daughter come or whatever. So even if she didn't lock her computer, I mean, I know you still supposed to. So, well, anyway, I ain't gonna say that. You still supposed to lock your computer even when you're working from home or whatever. But if you know nobody else is gonna be there, like, does it really even matter? You know what I'm saying? That's what makes sense. That Eva should have thought about that. But and Nicole probably wouldn't have sent her over there for that. I'm sure Nicole wouldn't have sent her over there for nothing like that because she know your house is secure. So like that was just like dumb of Cat to do that way. But anyway, Eva said she gotta go, and her mom was like, yeah, or whatever. And she said that Nicole is gonna be having dinner with Cat and Ted. All right. And this her right here when she got the message on her phone, and her mama looking like, mm-hmm. And then here go Cat. Cat, this is Cat phone. So Cat now is at the restaurant where they supposed to be meeting up to eat, and she's watching her phone. And y'all can see how she got the picture. Let me make it a little bigger so y'all can see. So like that's her purse right there. You can see the laptop if y'all can see it. But yeah, so she's at the bar waiting on her mom and her dad to come, and she's waiting for Eva to come. She was like, Eva, please take the bait. And then this her again sitting there at the bar. So while she's sitting there waiting, oh well, let's see before. Okay, hold on. So while so I'm gonna go and continue with this part. So while she's sitting there waiting, next thing you know, boom shakalaka. And that's why I said this woman with her multi names and her looks, I think she said her name was Una or something like that today. So she done walked up and she was like, hi Cat. And then she was like, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Una. And like that. And she was like, okay, what can I do for you? Like, what is it? I'm busy. And then she was like, we have somebody in common that I wanted to talk to you about. And she was like, who? And then she said, Eva. She was like, I don't have anything to talk to you about Eva about. She was like, well, she works for your mom, right? She was like, yeah, but she was like, I'm professional. I'm not going to be talking to you about Eva, whatever. But Alyssa wouldn't let it go. She kept baiting her in. So they finally ended up having a conversation. And she was like, well, she said, well, oh, she told her, she was like, well, I knew her mom. And so she was like, I'm close to Eva. She never said that she is the surrogate mom. She never said that. And then she lied about her name because everybody know that Alyssa, which is the surrogate mom, so and then why do you have that wig on? You know what I'm saying? Why you don't have your regular hair if you're going to tell her that you're close to her, but still not tell her exactly who you were? So she was like, well, she was like, we have something in common. And so she was like, Eva told me that, you be giving her a hard time. She was like, I'm just trying to see what can I do to be a mediator to, make y'all, get on one accord. And she was like, yeah, ain't nothing you could do like that. So she was like, she just be in too much into my mom's business. Cause she asked her, well, why don't you like her? And then she said, well, what does she do? And she was like, what kind of question is that? Because she already told her, I'm not going to be discussing her or my mom work with you, but as more and more as Alyssa probed, she ended up still telling her more information or whatever. So they had their little conversation, and she was like, well, I tried or whatever, and this and that, there and the other. Now, before I show y'all the next part of this, we're going to go back a little bit to where Eva arrived to the house. And this is just another picture of her and Alyssa and Cat talking. Because I showed y'all from Alyssa's point, and now you can see from Cat's point. So here's Eva arriving to the house, whatnot. She takes her coat off and everything so she can supposed to, but this episode she never did end up going in there and checking the computer at all. She hadn't stepped foot into the office at all this episode. So she goes and take her coat off, then she's moseying around, looking up there, and then that candle right there, she ended up picking that candle up. And while she's sitting up there looking at the candle and she just reminiscing, she just in a daydream. She just like in a zone. In walks Ted. Ted always catch her looking at something. He always really catch her doing something that she ain't got no business doing, but he don't necessarily say it and he don't look at it as she doing something that she ain't got no business doing. So like, but if you came over there to do some work, you're supposed to go into the office and just lock the computer and go. Why are you over here at our mantle crossing your hands across the mantle and just looking at stuff? So when he came in, he was like, what are you doing? And then she had this all startled look on her face at first. Y'all, I be trying to snap these pictures, but sometimes I can't snap them fast enough. But she had this startled look on her face, and then she was like, "Oh, I was just noticing the candle. It wasn't where it normally be or whatever." She was like, "So I was just fixing it." And he was like, you do enough work being her assistant." He was like, "Maybe the maid just put it in the wrong place." He was like, "That's not your job. You don't have to do that or whatever." So they started having a conversation. She was, saying she feel less than about because you know how Cat treat her, and he was like, "Well, everybody like you," and she was like, "Yeah, except Cat." So he was like, "Well, I'm gonna talk to her." She was like, "No, please don't do that. Then she gonna think that I'm trying to take her father from her or whatever." So he was like basically just encouraging her like he always do. And she was like, "Oh, you feel like that about me?" Because he felt like, she's a good person, a strong person. So she's really liking him as well as Nicole. She see that they're nothing like how her mom is telling them that she is. So then she after he left, she still never went in there in the office. She sat down on that couch and then she ended up looking back and she saw the picture of Nicole and Ted. And then she started daydreaming again and she pictured her mom, Alyssa, and Ted in the picture. And then she started crying and she was looking like this, y'all. Oh, Eva was crying. All right, so now let's go back to where these two was talking. So these two were talking, and y'all remember I told y'all Ted left and Eva was still at the house. So next thing you know, he sees Alyssa talking to his daughter. So when he first walked in, he was like, "What?" I was trying to snap it because they had a scene where you could see him and them at the same time, but I couldn't get that picture, y'all. But this is him overstepping to the side or whatever. So I was like, "Oh, he gonna grab her up when she leave when she walked toward the door." But he didn't do it once she walked to the door. He waited till she got outside, y'all. Bam. It was like bam. He said, "Now you're messing with my daughter. You're talking to my daughter. This time you've gone too far." And then that's when the episode ended. But I'm not going to end my review. But the episode ended with this part right here. I'm like, child, and he see her in the other wig. But I'm glad she got on a better wig because that poodle wig she had on the last time, baby, I was like, please throw that wig in the garbage, honey. Okay? Because it looked at a hot mess. So now let's go to the police station. So we got Marcel, and I think the last time I called him Malone, but I think his last name is Malone. He a Eminem. His name Marcel Malone, I believe. I don't know, child, but I thought I heard somebody call him Malone before. I think it was the chief of police called. You know how sometimes they be calling people by their last name, but Jacob be calling him Marcel. So Marcel come up and you see he got his coffee in his hand and he got another coffee and he brings Jacob a coffee. So he being nice to Jacob, he's talking and he was like, "Yeah, well, what about this or whatever?" I don't know exactly. I don't remember the exact words, but they was talking or whatever. And then Jacob was like, "Oh, you being awfully nice now. Like, what's going on like that?" And he was like, "Nothing." He was like, "You just remind me of me like that." And he was like, "Really like that?" He was like, "What's really going on? It's something now you don't want me to find out or whatever." He said, "Because you didn't like me at first, but now you being overly nice." And then he was like, "No," he was like, "I was just you new, and so I was just hazing you. He was like, I'm not a new police. He said, but you new to this department. You new to homicide and something, he said. And then he was like, I was just hazing you or whatever like that. And so he was like, okay. He was like, or is it something else? He said, you trying to get on my good side to cover up something like that. And then he was like, no. He was like, you thinking too much into it. He said, again, you just remind me of me. You remind me of a younger me. And he was like, I'm just, I want to, whatever you need, I'm here for you or whatever. And then he was like, I'm going to help you to do what's right and stuff like that. And some stuff you need to leave alone or whatever. Right. So then Jacob kept giving him pushback. So then he started turning back to the person who he was, and he was getting an attitude. Jacob said, there he is. That's who he is. That's your true self right there. And he was like, so you Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, you know how they could be the nice guy and the bad guy or whatever. He was like, no, I'm just trying to be a good partner to you or whatever, right? And this when he stood up and called him the Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because he wasn't sitting down the whole time. He stood up because they was having words, baby. They were going back and forth, honey. But this man was trying to be nice. And then he turned back into the Jekyll. But before he left, he was the Hyde again. So then we go here with his dad, which is the chief of police. He come and then he's stopped his dad, and he was like, so you told Marcel like that, and he was like, told him what? He was like, cause he being nice to me now. He said, so you said something to him about what I said to you? Cause remember, he said he felt like Marcel was corrupt, had some corruption going on in the police force, and he was like, no, like that. And then he went ahead and he admitted it because he kept saying, no, I know you talked to him, you had to. So then he was like, I'm just trying to look out for you. I'm trying to just protect you or whatever. So of course Jacob is not backing down. Jacob like, so corruption is okay to you. And, oh yeah, he told the other man, he said, you look the other way when you see him taking a payoff or whatever, but you really don't know what that is. That wasn't taking no payoff. You didn't see nothing else exchanged other than some money. But Marcel was like, I'm telling you, leave it alone or whatever. But his dad did the same thing. After he kept trying to push him down or whatever, he was like, listen, just leave it alone. He said, for your own good, I'm telling you to leave it alone. And that's what his dad. So now Jacob really know, and he know that his dad is in on it. Child. The corruption is real at Fairmont Crest Police Department, child. All right, which brings us to the last part. This is going to be the last part of what happened. Y'all know these all happen in different orders or whatever, but I don't want to be going back from this part to that part to that part. So I'm telling one storyline all together. So now we go here. And Smitty, and y'all remember yesterday that he found out that his husband told his man that he didn't want the job and he wasn't available for the job. So instead of him saying my husband lied, he kept his cool, and he said he was like, yeah, it was been a lot going on or whatever. He was like, but he said, I'm glad that I saw you. He said, because it just so happened my schedule freed up, so I am available to take that job. And he looked at his husband like, yeah, now what or whatever. So dude was like, okay, great. He was like, because there's a lot of people that want it. He said, but I want you like that. So let's make a deal, baby. So they shook hands on it or whatever. So they gonna meet up at a different time. So then they talked. They was there talking for a long time. They was basically again talking about keeping secrets or whatever. So Smitty asked him, he was like, is there anything else that you are keeping from me? He was like, this is your opportunity to tell me now, because later on I ain't gonna want to hear it or whatever. So Martin looked, and then he was like, no, there's nothing else. But he lying, baby, because he tell him about your dreams and stuff, because now you're not just dreaming about it. You're having flashbacks while you're awoke. So tell him you still keeping stuff from him or whatever. So anyway, so they was talking about, the kids are strong. They can handle this and they can handle that. And he was like, no more lying to each other. We need to be upfront. No more hiding anything from each other. We need to be upfront, and we need to make a promise now. He was like, whenever you set yourself for something, if it's something you want and you set yourself for it, can't nobody stop you from getting it. And that's what he was saying for as his position as being an investigative journalist, and for as his husband being a president. So they kind of like agree that they gonna go after what they want regardless of who don't want them to have it, and they gonna put their family first. Them two and they kids is coming first. So he's saying like the Duprees can't tell me not to do nothing. The granddad and the grandmama, in other words, you know what I'm saying? So they did that. So then they go home, child. And this their daughter. I forgot her name. I think the son name is Tyrone. Maybe her name's Simone. I don't know, y'all. I forgot her name. They said it. But anyway, so they come in and she looking, oh, they was like, where's Tyrone or whatever. And then she was looking like, he upstairs. He went to bed early or whatever. He wasn't feeling good. He went to bed early. So Smitty was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go check on him. And she was like, no, don't do that. Like that. And then they both stopped. Smitty and Martin looked at her like, what? What do you mean don't? And matter of fact, we're both gonna go check on him now. Like, cause she raised suspicions and concern. So this how they looking. They like, what? So at first I thought maybe he done snuck out and he wasn't there. And I wish I could have snapped this picture, y'all, but I didn't get the picture. But we finna end it here. When he came down them stairs and he was like, don't be mad at her. She was just, trying to protect me. Or why he had a whole black eye, baby, and a cut up under that eye. So, child, somebody done put them paws on him. So she didn't want them to see that he done had a fight. But they're gonna eventually have to see him. So I don't understand why you was trying to cover that up. I mean, and I'm glad that he came downstairs because you're not gonna go days without seeing your kid. Like what? Like where'd he do that in? But yeah, y'all, he came downstairs with a black eye. So I don't know what that's all about, but we shall see. All right, you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of Beyond the Gates. Leave y'all comments down below. Are y'all still watching this with me? Are y'all still into the reviews? Let me know. Tell me what y'all think about Beyond the Gates. Like the video, share the video, and if you have not subscribed to the channel as of yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button, click that bell notification for all so that you never miss an upload and so that you help me and my channel get in and remain in the YouTube algorithm. It is truly, 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 truly appreciative. Thank you guys for everything you do. Have a wonderful rest of y'all Thursday. It's almost the weekend, baby. And as we say before we go, love, peace, and hair grease. Smooches. Bye-bye.